In the Back of the Book segment tonight, putting a stop to sanctuary cities. A horrific story out of Philadelphia involving 45-year-old Ramon Aguirre Ochoa, an illegal immigrant from Honduras. He was deported from the U.S. back in 2009, but he came back. And after facing local criminal charges in 2014 over another incident, ICE made a detainer request with Philadelphia officials to take him into custody and deport him yet again. But Philadelphia defied that request after the criminal charges were dropped and let Aguirre Ochoa go free. In a sickening development, he was arrested again late last month, accused of raping a 13-year-old or under child. Joining us now with reaction, Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey, who's helped lead the charge against ending sanctuary city policies. Thank you for joining us, Senator. Now, for a long time, you know, Bill O'Reilly has been pushing the Kate Steinle story, pushing the Kate's Law, which I think you were involved with as well. Tell us what is the latest. This is a sanctuary city bill in addition to the Kate's Law legislation.
You know, Eric, you really need both. You really need both because Kate's Law makes all the sense in the world. It says after you've come here repeatedly, illegally, you've been deported, and in addition, you've committed violent crimes, then you're going to be subject to a stiff statutory minimum. But the reason you need the sanctuary cities law, right, to end sanctuary cities, is because you need to be able to grab these guys. What happened in Philadelphia, this appalling disaster, this monster raped a child, and he never should have been here. And the folks at ICE didn't want him here. They had asked the police department of Philadelphia to hold this guy until they could send an agent to pick him up and deport him. The city of the police department, their hands were tied by a very bad policy that forbids them from cooperating with federal immigration officials. It's terrible, and it's a security risk for all of us.
I think that's an important distinction to highlight, the fact that the local police, the law enforcement agencies want to turn these bad guys over to ICE, but they're told not to because of the politics.
Absolutely, Eric. I don't know a single police officer who supports these sanctuary city policies. They know these guys are bad guys. Look, remember, this is the Obama administration. They're not actually in the business of like wholesale deportation of illegal immigrants. The only ones they want to deport are people who are committing these violent crimes or suspected of committing violent crimes or being terrorists. And when a city like Philadelphia refuses to cooperate, even in those circumstances, then we get exactly this kind of situation. And by the way, this monster who's apparently raped a child, this could happen again. If he makes bail, or if for some reason the case against him falls apart and they have to release him, according to the current policy in Philadelphia, they will not inform ICE. They will just release this guy onto the streets of Philadelphia. This is terrible. Yeah. We've got to end this.
You mentioned something right there that I didn't even think of and didn't realize. Now, is there a distinction for terror as well? If these guys are suspected of terror, at that point, can they be turned over to the feds?
Eric, under the policies in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is not alone, but it does have one of the most extreme versions of this, even if the ICE officials suspect the illegal immigrant who's in detention, they suspect him of being a member of a terrorist organization, the city still won't cooperate.
How is that possible, Senator? How is it possible that a local, it's got to be a lawmaker, will tell the cops, look the other way, we may have a terrorist in our cell right here, and we're not going to turn him over to ICE, we're just going to let him free on our streets?
It's unbelievable, but that is the city government's policy. It's by executive order of the mayor. The previous mayor, by the way, there's bipartisan opposition to this. The previous mayor, Michael Nutter, rescinded this policy, put an end to it. The new mayor then restated it. The former mayor and governor, Ed Rendell, opposes this policy. The Obama administration even opposes it. But there are communities across America, and sadly including Philadelphia, that nevertheless refuse to cooperate.
Senator, this doesn't, your legislation doesn't get through the Senate. Why? We got to go. I don't have a lot of time. Just tell me, where's the holdup? How many more do you need? How many more signatures do you need?
We've had a vote. The problem is we don't have Democrat support for it. I held all but one Republican on my bill to end sanctuary cities, and we picked up only 2 Democrats. We need 60. The Democrats filibustered it, and so we weren't able to pass this.
So you're about 5 short or so.
It's just appalling.
Senator, we're going to leave it right there. Senator, very, very important story. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Just when we thought the American Olympic athletes couldn't be more dominant, they blow away all our expectations. Back in a moment.